Hello, my name is Fabio Oliveira and I will talk about our paper Board Engagement with Digital Technologies, a Research Dependency Framework, which I wrote together with Professor Nada Kakabadze and Dr. Nadine Kam in Henley Business School in United Kingdom. Digitalization accelerates change in business models and customer value creation. Scholars suggest the Board of Directors needed to respond to digital transformation by contributing to value creation, attracting new capabilities, improving decision-making quality, engaging more on strategy and risk, and increasing digital skill sets in board composition. However, current studies of board dynamics forged by deliberation, concentration of power, political behavior, information asymmetries between executives and board members, and absence of realism suggest that board directors fail to acknowledge the impacts of digital transformation. Therefore, it is unclear by the actual literature how the board of directors engage with technological advancements and adapt digital technology in governance making. Therefore, the research question is how digital technologies impact in the way of a board of directors works. Digital technologies, specific big data, overload board members' cognitive capability. Consequently, a director is not equipped for making rigorous, meaningful, and interpreted sense. This constrains independence for challenging or supporting positions during board discussion. Furthermore, studies emphasize the growing importance of technology as emerging methodological niches at the board level, in such areas as board directorship, board dynamics, and real-time decision-making. The progressive decisions made by board members are the results of deliberated individual decisions, which results affect a wider range of stakeholders and the natural environment. In a scenario of increasing digitalization, a board of directors' duties and responsibility extend beyond personalized agents' perspective, which takes strategizing as instrumental to reducing the conflicts of interest between owners and agents. Digital transformation phenomena on the board of directors have been investigated predominantly using the dynamic capability view or the knowledge-based view perspective. Shamin applied dynamic capability view to highlight several timely board practices to improve boards' strategizing methods. The knowledge-based view was employed to investigate the mediating role on the impact of data analytics usage on the quality of firm decision, and to explore the impacts of big data on board members' decision-making. We reviewed corporate governance theories to position our focus on a perspective that would allow penetrating investigation about board members' experience with digital technologies. We find the research dependency theory lens better informs the board of directors' role in the context of digital transformation. Research dependency theory focuses on the company's relationship with external resources, board contributions to the process, control, and deliver of firm resources for timely strategic decisions. We draw on the review of the algorithmic direction of the workforce, governance risk in cloud computing scenarios, and big data governance to support the importance of board members' awarenesses of digital technologies for effective governance. First, we find evidence that adoption of artificial intelligence technologies can drive superior operational performance by supporting top management decision-making. Management implement algorithms to control and direct workers, to replace humans in repetitive tasks, to augment human capabilities, or eliminate operational inefficiencies. Second, the cloud computing digital ecosystem of virtualized computational power, storage memory, energy, enabled the emergence of the Internet of Things and the Internet of Everything that facilitate IT infrastructure, expansions, mergers, and deployments, potentially creating competitive differentiators for firms. The third pillar sustaining our arguments is big data governance, which refers to the management of people, process, and technologies that support the usage of the big data firms generate. Data-driven decision-making accumulates and analyzes substantial quantities of information and data to formulate agile strategizing. Board members must undertake risk assessment of a variety of complex laws and regulations that needed to be observed in big data, cloud, and AI settings, because firms face ethical, legal, and regulatory challenges. These risks are classified as cultural, legal, technical, and organizational, which can have consequences on the quality of the life and health of the company's entire network, and impact on the ethical accountability and respect for the environment. For example, algorithmic fairness and discrimination, data quality and biases, cybersecurity, data privacy, data governance, transparency and accountability, and algorithmic decision-making governance. The board of directors are at the center of the digital ecosystem. Directors need to make sense of and judge the potential value creation, risks for reputation, assurance for compliance to attract external resources, and transform internal capabilities that maintain companies' relevance in the marketplace. Data was gathered through in-depth semi-structured interviews. Multiple teams were developed in and across the interviews. These were categorized, reduced, and the overarching common threads emerged as trends across the sample set. Board directors were approached through a snowballing method of introduction and through LinkedIn. All live virtual interviews were agreed and undertaken via Zoom. Interviews were carried out from May to November 2020 with 26 active board members, who have been on at least 2 different boards in their directorship careers. The approach was inductive with non-probabilistic sampling. It's not the aim to generalize but to explore a broad view of experienced directors in mid-sized UK companies. Open code was engaged, labeling extracts from the transcriptions and defining themes and categories. The dataset was coded by the lead inquirer and validated by expert peers. The dataset was organized and recordings analyzed using NVivo. Themes and codes were assigned and themes emerged across the dataset. Saturation is reached where similar themes are re-emergent and few additional insights are revealed. Findings indicate that digital technologies impact all board directors in 4 major threads. First, digital technologies are bringing about modifications in the way board members' information flow. Board members can tailor complementary information and drill down to get more data to expand information availability. Having access to real-time information can be important for strengthening corporate governance, as it can reduce internal executives' information advantage. Data technology is bringing directors into closer proximity with the business on an operational level, and it may impact their stewardship role. Digital technologies can contribute to faster rational decisions. However, the scarcity of real-time access to information disrupts and makes decisions slower, which may lead to a loss of decision-making autonomy. Second, blue sky strategizing considers technology's involvement with an understanding of customers, employees, operation, and finance. Participants indicate a diversity in digital technologies in which company can invest. Data scientists are key to analyzing data. The adoption of digital technologies, then, leads to board discussions about the challenges and opportunities presented by data governance and cybersecurity. Then, some boards are hiring younger professionals considered digital natives. Third, is the board's stewardship role. Participants suggest a common opinion that boards need to spend more time within their organization and less time on distant fiduciary duties. The findings draw consensus that digitalization brings board members closer to their operations, and this accelerates the board's ability to drive governance in strategic directions, scanning the misalignment between strategy and execution. And lastly, is the scoping predictive strategic priorities. Our finding indicates that board members prioritize an understanding of how technologies impact on contextual, political, economic, social, and environmental forces. The context is in relation to insight on customer purchasing behavior or the acknowledgement of the employees' engagement with the companies and customers. Another strategic priority that participants indicate is the ability of the board of directors to identify and forge external partnerships to nurture mutually beneficial opportunities as collaborative value creation between networks. We find digital technologies moderate board dynamics, which extends resource dependency theory empirical studies by identifying actions, behavior, constraints, and board dynamism conditions. This finding corroborates and extends propositions to reaffirm that board members use digital technologies to help overcome information inaccuracy, to check on CEO honesty, and to better monitor and counsel the top management team. Direct access to in-depth company data is crucial to board members, as managers try to offset the effects of structural independence through interpersonal influence and cohesion. We contribute to resource dependency theory as the board of directors can use digital technology as an instrument to reduce uncertainty, lower transaction costs by making information more readily available, and lower dependency among buyers and suppliers to develop alternatives more readily and, furthermore, increase the flow of needed resources, internal and external, via the exchange of information between members, executive teams, suppliers, and partners. We add digital technologies impact to this discussion on the perspectives that consider digital technology to reduce and eventually prevent irresponsible behaviors. We add digital technology to discussions on resource dependency theory, which considers board interlocks to enhance opportunities for developing capabilities and launching new products without requiring responding exhaustive investments. Additionally, digital native boards can be a network of information and offer access to important technological resources, an interpretation highly consistent with resource dependence theory. Then, digital technologies can represent a renaissance in boards through a focus on the resource provisioning, advisory, and counseling roles of directors. For boards, it is a framework that focuses on members' skills and board structure and composition for better governance. The findings raise awareness for promoting discussion on the ethical and societal implications of high levels of automation. The findings are contextual to the nature of the sample and less generalizable to other sizes of organizations. However, the study adopted a consistent, in-depth, and rigorous qualitative thematic analysis. Future research may explore a narrow segment of the economy or country, the societal impacts of digital technologies, and more quantitative research on the impact of digital technology is warranted to address information asymmetry. Thank you, and I look forward to receive your questions and suggestions for improvement.